All right, guys, today we're back with the 2025 Lucid Air Touring. It's raining again, and this is actually the exact same car we drove at the Mama Spring Rally for just a few minutes with my first impressions video that I posted a few weeks ago. This week, I've lived with this Lucid Air. I've spent a lot of time in it, put a lot of miles on it. This is, and this is going to be a big claim, this is my favorite EV. The interior, the tech, the screens, the software, the UI, the design inside and out, the driving experience, it all just comes together to be a fantastic luxury EV. Let's get into it. We'll start on the inside, we'll hop inside and walk you around this interior just a little bit. This will be a little bit less in depth of a walk around just because we've already done a video on this car. When you hop in, all you have to do is just press the brake pedal and everything comes on. To turn the car off, you just leave. Just leave and walk away. You do get a key card and a key fob. So one press of this key fob, there's a little button on the back, is lock. Two presses is unlock, and a hold opens the front trunk. Let's talk about this interior because I love everything that's going on here. This is the benchmark for how screens and interiors and UI should be designed in modern cars. Everything is clearly defined. Everything is lucid. It's easy to read. It's easy to find. I have my screen brightness control right here. CarPlay, they give you that in this Lucid Air. Fantastic. All of your light controls, your wiper controls, lock and unlock the vehicle, open your charge port, front rear defrost controls are all over there. Fog lights. You've got a single press wiper button right there. Your turn signal. Cruise control, up and down to change your speed, press it to set, engage the system, following distance, turn off the system, volume, track selection, and microphone, and then you have a little stalk here to put us into reverse, or drive, or park, or neutral. And then look at this, cameras. Reverse camera, 360 camera. Great use of screen real estate. We get a few physical controls in this, fan speed and temperature. Volume, and the rest of this is so well laid out. I wouldn't mind this CarPlay screen to be just a little bit larger, but it works. This system is as responsive as my iPhone. That's how it should be in every new car in 2025. You have a few themes. You can kind of change the color of the interior. That's neat, I guess. Really nice materials. This does not at all feel like a first generation product from a new company. The fabric on the dash, the wood grain, the aluminum right here. These seats, extremely comfortable. The windshield, very cool. A little bit bright on super sunny days, but for the most part, it's been fine this week. Let's show you around this infotainment a little bit more. You've got a climate screen, heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated seats, settings. Look at the response time with this screen. It's instant. 3 different drive modes, smooth, swift, and sprint, adaptive suspension. Only complaint, I wish we had a steering wheel control on the wheel. It's just a little bit tedious to do that through here, but honestly, you're gonna set it, forget it, save it to your profile, and you won't really have to worry about it too much. Could we always do with a few more physical controls in this interior? Yes, but I feel like Lucid has gotten that balance between screen controls, location, physical buttons for things that matter just about right. This should be the benchmark that every manufacturer looks at for introducing screens into an interior because I think they've just got it about perfect here. There are a ton of different seat adjustments, thigh support, backrest width, lumbar, cushion, recline, height, position, headrest, everything. Look at how this door handle operates too. It's kind of this knurled knob that you pull back. Very neat. A little bit of storage under there too. Back seats. Plenty of room in here for a car seat. Tons of legroom. Flat floor. All very nice. Trunk space is great. However, it's a little bit odd accessing it sometimes because if you need to bend down, this gets in your way. So I actually might find myself using the front trunk a little bit more on this. Super low load height down there. That's the beauty of a ground up EV platform. I love how wide that opening is. Let's show you the back seat. Pretty easy to get into. Decent headroom. Legroom is fantastic. We get a sunshade for the rear passengers. There we go. And on the windows. A little bit of storage there. Heated seats. Let's see if this armrest comes down with the car seat. It does. Very nice. Kind of mirrored back here what we see up front. A spacious, simple, beautifully designed interior. All things to like in the Lucid Air. This is the Touring. It has 620 horsepower, 885 pound-feet of torque, which is bonkers. Let's see if we can pop the front trunk here by holding our fob. Yes, we can. Nice. A little bit of a usable space up here with some more room down below, like that. Just good packaging, good design here. Charge port. Press down there, it opens up. Super fast charging here. 377 miles of range on this Lucid Air Touring with the 20-inch Michelin tires. Sometimes it's a little bit finicky going back up. You just need to give it a bit of encouragement. There we go. Very aerodynamic wheel and a drag coefficient of 0.197, which is insane. This is the most efficient electric vehicle on sale today. I think it just broke a record for most miles on a single charge. We'll throw some more specs and info in the description for you guys, but let's go drive this and give you guys some more driving impressions here. Look at that. Wireless charging right down there. Nice little slot to put your phone. Cup holder, water bottle holders, more space down there. And I like this cover too. Oops, it's gotten caught on my phone there. That's not good. There we go. Steering, excellent. A little bit of feedback here, a little bit of feel. The big surprise here with this Lucid Air is the handling. With a 92 kilowatt hour battery pack, this weighs around 5,000 pounds. But you don't feel it. It feels unencumbered. It feels nimble, light, responsive. I didn't really get a chance to push this around a corner at the Mama Rally. We did some straight line stuff. It was raining pretty heavily. Road conditions weren't ideal. Today, I'm excited to explore this chassis a little bit. So we've got a few different drive modes: smooth, swift, and sprint. And then within those, you can select regenerative braking off, in standard, or in high. High's a little bit too aggressive. Standard works for most driving. We'll start off with it off. And then you can also turn on creep, which we don't have enabled right now. But let's feel the brake pedal naturally. Sprint is the most aggressive drive mode. Stiffens up the suspension a little bit. We'll select swift. I think that's probably kind of the sport mode here. Turn signal sounds a little bit odd, but I've gotten used to it. You don't need more than 620 horsepower in your EV. Turn signal cameras too. All right, turning in, flat around a corner. A little bit of tire squeal, good mechanical grip, some safe understeer, that's okay. Powering out. No drama, effortless. We're gonna put regen back into standard. That's kind of my preferred drive mode. Good amount of regen off throttle. You get a lot more deceleration on the highway than you do around town, so it's adjustable depending on the speed that you're going. What about adaptive cruise control? Push the button in to set your speed. You can increase or decrease your speed depending on how fast you want to go right here. You can hold for 5-mile-an-hour increments. On the highway, you can enable drive assist, which will change lanes for you. And it does so very quickly. Look at that. It's not as aggressive as BMW's driving assistance system that changes lanes like a German, but it does a pretty good job. It's not wasting any time. Pretty quiet in here at 80 miles an hour. Let's dip down to 70. Listen to wind noise. There's a little bit of a rumble over rougher roads in terms of NVH, but for the most part, this is a pretty quiet sedan, as all EVs need to be. You do need to nudge the steering wheel on occasion. It's not just enough to look ahead in this drive assist mode. Usually, if you just kind of rest your hand on the wheel, put a little bit of weight on it, that's enough to keep it from going off. Forward visibility is quite good. Side visibility, same deal. Only major blind spot is from this A-pillar, but again, you kind of get used to looking around it if you need to. All right, let's turn off drive assist. Go into sprint mode. It's quick. Brake pedal feels nice. Firm, easy to modulate. Decent bite. Honestly though, if you're one pedal driving this, you're not really going to be using the brake pedal very much at all. Alright, we have to do a launch control start. There you go. Launch mode activated. A little bit of wheel spin, but it just took off. That initial acceleration is just insane. All right, dipping into brake pedal there. Stability control, keeping us in line. Oh yeah, there's also that, a hidden compartment. Always love a hidden compartment. It's just insanely rapid. Ride quality is fantastic too. I've mostly been driving this in smooth mode. It has great body control over big bumps. Smaller bumps and road imperfections are pretty much smoothed out. This is the only situation where there's some NVH into this cabin over kind of a rough and bumpy road. There's just a bit more of a bassy sound. All right, so traction control. Let's go into sprint, settings, and then we have Lucid stability control. Partial, off. We'll just do partial, and then ramp it up from there if we see fit. Cool. Seating position here is fun too. You can get so low in this cabin. Let's try high regenerative braking too. For normal, more sedate driving, standard is about right, but for what we're doing today, this might be the way. I love the responsiveness. It almost feels like there's just a little bit more power in sprint mode. From behind the wheel, this feels more sports car than luxury sedan. The breadth of capability here is just awesome. All right, let's take us around a couple corners. to need the brake pedal as much as I imagine. All right, so still quite a bit of intervention there. Let's go in and turn some things off. Close courses, all that, yada yada. I want to feel what this chassis can do. The drivetrain calibration here is really good. Coming down to a stop, it's pretty smooth. That last mile an hour or so can give you a little bit of a lurch. It's not a perfect limo stop like some EVs out there, but it's pretty good. And then sometimes when you dip into the accelerator from a stop, you can hear just a little bit of a crunch as the brake pedal releases. It would be nice to get some of those little things smoothed out, but ultimately, it's not a major complaint here. Ha 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 ha. This thing just drives amazing. I'm getting a little bit of a weird noise at speed here. I'll admit I haven't really driven this much on the highway this week, but it almost sounds like birds chirping. Not sure if that's a window, kind of a wonky window seal, or what's going on. Wind noise otherwise seems about normal, about average, maybe a little bit louder than some other competitors. I don't feel like I'm in as insulated of a cabin as I would in like an EQS or something, but that said, I'd rather grab the keys to this every day of the week over an EQS. It's just such a fun driving experience. These 20-inch Michelins were specifically developed for the Lucid Air. They ride nice, they're quiet, great traction in the wet. There's full regen. Well, if you couldn't tell from the video, I've really enjoyed driving this week. It's been one of my favorite cars I've driven all year, and I'm pretty sure this is my favorite EV that I've driven to date. The interior, the screens, the responsiveness, the UI, the interaction with everything is really well thought out and perfectly executed. I love the way it handles. The power is addictive. All EVs these days are fast. And when the driving experiences start to kind of blend together a little bit, it's stuff like this. It's the interior design, it's the aesthetics, it's the responsiveness, the tech in an EV that kind of sets it apart. And I think Lucid's done a really, really good job with that. I was kind of hoping we'd get a red light so we could do a launch control. That's okay. We'll do one more here. This car definitely isn't perfect. There are a few things that they could improve upon here, but for a first-generation product, it's just a phenomenal overall package. It's one of the few EVs I've driven where I don't really want to give Substitute Topher the keys this week. It's a very confidence-inspiring car. It's very stable. Doesn't step out on you. The dual motor all-wheel drive is fun, but I'm also very curious to drive the Lucid Air, the rear-wheel drive, the base model. Is it the Pure? The Lucid Air Pure? All right, well, those are my thoughts after spending some more time in this Lucid Air Touring. Hopefully this provides you guys with a little bit more insight into what this car's like to live with and what it's like to drive. All the hype, all the positive reviews, the glowing praise is well deserved for this Lucid Air. It is just a fantastic vehicle to drive and live with, and I think it's my favorite EV to date. we'll end on that note. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. If you walk away far enough, that's when everything will just shut off. There it goes. And then when you approach it again, door handles will open, things will fire up. Cool looking car too. Soft close doors. I love how quickly you can just get in and go. Even CarPlay connects pretty fast on initial startup. There we are. One thing we didn't talk about is the sound system. Let's wrap up. I know we're doing a very Midwest goodbye here, but let's wrap up with a quick sound system test. This premium audio in this is excellent. Love it. Cool. All right. That's it. That's all I have right now for the Lucid Air. I would like to do a night drive on one of these, but if I don't get around to it, go check out the Winding Road Magazine channel. Subs and TheTopher will film one on this exact car, and you guys can check it out there probably around the same time this video drops. Cool. That's it for now. We'll see you guys later.